All right. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. It's going to be a good one. I'm excited tonight. It's going to be some late night freelancing. Late night because this is the first opportunity I've had to get into it and finish this project. So basically what's going on, my wife and I are expecting our baby boy to be born any day now. And if he doesn't show up by Friday, she's going into the hospital to have him induced. So I've got a very firm deadline to get this project done. So we're going to hang out tonight. We're going to get it done. I'm going to work on this logo for Paul Gowan, a good friend of mine. We do the Moto Monday broadcast. We just finished our first season of that. You can see the replays posted on my profile here at Behance or on YouTube or on Twitch, wherever you're tuning in from. So tonight what we're going to do is I'm going to work on his logo. We pretty much have the logo mark done. So let me show you what we're doing here. All right, so this is the final, the winner, the one that he liked the most. So we're going to take this design and we're going to learn how to export it in a way that he can use it across the board for other things. And then we're also going to maybe play around with the brand a little bit. I might make some apparel. I might, I don't know, maybe make something cool with it once we get this all packaged up. So let me know where you're watching from. What's up from Cairo, Egypt? I see you. Okay, I'm gonna try and say your name. Abdelrahman. I hope I said your name right. I know I butchered it, but you know what? Hello. What's up, Dominic from Illinois? Hello from Colombia. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for saying hello. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing tonight. We're just hanging out, having some fun. I'm gonna get everything going here. How's the sound? How's the stream? Can you guys hear me okay? Is the audio synced up to the video? I know the last couple streams I've had, it's kind of been off and on where it gets a little bit weird. So if it does, I'm also broadcasting. What's up, Kansas City, Missouri? What's up, Taylor? My sister's name is Taylor. My mom and dad couldn't figure out what to name her, and I play guitar, and I was like, you should name her Taylor, because I was really into Taylor guitars. So that's how that happened. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get started. Let me know if the audio is good, if the music, I don't know. I like having the music. Usually what happens is I zone out and I have it really loud like this or more. But so you can hear me, I'll turn it down a little bit tonight. So let me know if it gets too loud. So what we're going to do, basically when this is all said and done, sorry, one more thing, housekeeping, making sure I can see all the comments. Is this synced up? Sorry. Okay. When we're all done with this, here's another logo that I did for Hydration Junkie. This was a cool water bottle product, and it was featured on Shark Tank. So that was a fun opportunity to get to work on that. And this is where we're going. Okay, so this logo, I've got all these different artboards. And if I hit Shift O, let me turn on Visualize so you guys can see my keyboard shortcuts. What's up? From New Zealand. Hey, Rachel. Thanks for tuning in. Is it Kinlock? Hello from Dominican Republic. What's up, Diego? Thanks for tuning in. So we're going to have some fun tonight. So what I've done with this brand is I've got all these artboards, and these are just 8.5 by 11. And when you click on it with the artboard tool in Illustrator, up here at the top, we have the option to give your artboard a name. So these are the brand details. And what I do is I go through the logo and I show what the icon is going to be for the brand. And I show, what's up, Joe? Yeah. We're talking about my sister's name being named Taylor. He says, lucky for you, I wasn't into Ibanez. I actually have an Ibanez guitar. It's over there on the floor. And the best thing I ever did to it was I put in Gibson Burstbucker pickups into it, and it sounds amazing. It plays like a cheap guitar, but it sounds amazing. Anyway, yeah, that's funny. So anyway, with this logo, so I've got the stacked version, I've got the horizontal version, and then I define my clear space. And when I make clear space, I usually pick a shape from within the logo. Is this music too ridiculous, you guys? Is it too much? Sorry, I realize it's getting kind of loud. Anyway, I pick a shape, in this case the letter H, and I use it to define the space around the logo. So that way when it scales, that sizing scales with it. Okay. So then I talk about the base font that we used in the design, and I pull out the brand details and all the colors. And the way that I get the color names, because I don't know color names, like I would have no idea that this was Midnight Blue or Lochmara. Wow, I totally butchered that. Anyway, I get all fancy with the names, and the way that I do that is I use a cool app called Sip. All right, so we'll pull this up real quick. And with Sip, I can sample literally any color on my screen, any color at all. And I can see that I need to turn on my Do Not Disturb. What is on Do Not Disturb? Interesting. Okay, sorry. Squirrel. Anyway, so when I sample a color anywhere on my screen, I can see, well, that's just purple. That's boring. Oh, look at that one. That one's cherry pie. Check it out. So it gives me the name and the hex value, and it copies that hex value to my keyboard. So I define the colors, I pull out the cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, give them the hex and the Pantone, and I just pull everything out. Then I get real fancy with it. I've got some comparisons here so we can see the brand in grayscale and then over the color. I like to do it over the color instead of actually coloring the logo. Just adds, I don't know, I just like it. I like how it looks. Then I come down and I define all these other versions. So we've got the black, horizontal, we've got the stacked black, we've got charcoal, we've got the blue. Okay, lots of stuff going on here. So I basically define the brand. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do now with. Oh well, okay. So let's push this a little bit further. So what I do with this once I get all these artboards is then I can come up here to File and go down to Export, and then click Export As. And then from there, I export all these different file types. So EPS, a JPEG, PDF, and a PNG. And what I can do is I can choose the format, and then I can choose it here to use artboard. So by clicking that, it's going to spit out a file for every one of these artboards, and it's going to give it the artboard's name as part of the title. So if I click on here under JPEG, you can see it spit out every single file, every single artboard, and gave it the name right here of the artboard as well, along with the actual file name. So whatever this file name is up here, plus the artboard name, mashes it together, and then you have everything you need. So I actually teach about this process. I've got a course on Udemy and a course on Skillshare. I don't think the links are below. I guess while I'm talking about it, let me just pull this up real quick, and then we'll get to it. If you'd like to learn more and actually get to the point and be able to study what I'm doing, if you go to derrickmitchell.com, I have these courses in here, and I teach about it. I don't even know if I have that posted on this one. Logo design and freelancing. So right here, it's a $50 course, but you know what, the best way to get it is actually on Skillshare, because then you can stream it for like $10, or join me at the vault, derrickmitchell.com/vault. And you can get access to everything that I've ever made. So check those out. The only reason why I'm throwing that out there right now is in case you want to go at your own pace instead of watching me live and you want to get right to the point and be able to replay. I do go through all of these details that I'm about to teach you in this course, Batch Export Logos. So anyway, whatever. Take it or leave it. I'm happy you're here, and I can't wait to show you what we're going to do here. Plus, I've got to do it anyway because I really have to get this done. All right. So we're about to go. Just checking the chat, checking the stream real quick before I dive in and get super focused. Maybe get some different tunes going. Sip of my key lime LaCroix. All right. This music's too slow now. So usually I have a playlist before I dive into a logo project. Let me pull up. Let's see. So I have a super random playlist that I've had for like the last, I don't know, 5 years. It's got a little bit of everything. Oh my gosh. Oh, look how dated this is. I added this back in 2012. Oh my gosh. It's time for me to get some new music, you guys. That's so crazy to me. All right. So anyway, it's like, I don't know, 3 hours of music. And anytime I find a song that I like, I just add it to it and I name the playlist Flavor. So usually I play these songs because, I don't know, I just kind of zone out and go for it as my playlist. But because I'm streaming, I don't want to have any strikes on my channel for playing music that's copyrighted. So I'm using an Epidemic Sound playlist right now. So it's a little random, but we're going to go for it. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to work here. All right. So first things first, I'm going to make a brand new document, just so that way I don't have any of this other junk coming over. Checking something real quick. All right. Cool. All right, here we go. So I'm going to make a new file. I start up here across the top. We have all of these new documents that we can start with, these templates. So a lot of times I'll come up here to this print template. I'll go to letter. I'll change it from points to inches because that makes sense to my brain. If you're in other parts of the country, you probably want to use, or not the country, the world, you might use something different. But whatever you want, it doesn't matter. It's all vector, right? So I use letter because here in the States, that's a very common size for us. So I'll do that. My color mode, I'm going to leave it as CMYK. And that way it works well in print. We're going to start there. And then I want to make sure that it's in 300 for the raster effects. I don't have any raster effects set on this, so it's not a big deal right now, but I'll click create. All right, so I've got a blank canvas, and what we're going to start building is the details page, okay? So I'm going to hit Shift-O. It's just a shortcut here to get to my artboard tool. I'm going to click up here on the name artboard, and I'm just going to name this details. You can name it whatever you want. What we're going to do is we're going to build out this details page for the logo. So I'm going to go ahead and copy all of this here. I'm going to jump back over to my new document. I'm going to paste it. And if I just hit Command V, it's just going to throw it wherever, anywhere on the canvas. Doesn't really, I don't know. So what I'm going to do instead of that, I'm going to hit Command F as in front. And it's going to paste it in the exact same spot as the other document, okay? Which is a great starting place. I don't know if I'm going to have as many colors, so I'll have to do some things here to clean this up. I'm going to jump back over here to his logo. We're going to grab the final, throw it over here. And now I'm going to go ahead and hit save before I forget too far down the road. So right now it's just an untitled document. I'm going to hit Command S to save it. And let's call this Paul Gowan Mustang logo. A lot of things I could call this, but that makes sense to my brain. It's actually Take Command Project. So let's do that. All right. And let's go find Paul's files. His logo, the Mustang logo, and we are going to make a new folder called Finals. All right, and this is going to be an Illustrator file, so we're going to make a new folder in here. I'm just going to call it AI. Makes sense to my brain because these are all .ai extensions. You could call it Illustrator. You can call it whatever we want. I guess since we're sending it to a client, let's call it Illustrator because that probably makes more sense. Click Create. All right, and then we've got logo, AI, save it. Click OK. All right, we're headed the right direction. The chat is quiet. So where you're watching from right now, is it almost bedtime or is it like morning, middle of the day? I've been kind of playing with different stream times, mostly because we've been getting ready for the baby to come, and so I've been streaming really late at night. It's about 10:30 where I'm at right now, here in Montana. 10:30 in the evening. So what is that? 2200, 2224, whatever. All right. So yeah, let me know what time it is where you're at. And also in the future, when's a good time to stream? Is this a good time for you guys? You're obviously watching right now. All right, let's keep going. So I got my file saved. I have this version. One thing we didn't create, and now that I think about it, I mean, I could just pretty much export it like this and be done. Yeah, and to be honest, something I should do, I was streaming all of this, and I'm just going to double check that all of my alignment is locked down because I was a little distracted while I was live. Just want to make sure everything looks good and there's nothing weird before I package everything up. Make sure my letters are all looking good. You know what I could do? So we've got this T and this A right next to each other. And I think I'm going to clean this up a little bit. So the spacing visually, I might nest this over just a little bit. I'm just going to do it visually. I could do a couple things with this. I could grab the rectangle tool and just draw a shape between these two. I use shapes all the time as ways to measure things. So if I bring this over here, this might look terrible. We're going to play with it and just kind of see what happens. So I'm just going to snap the bottom of this over here. Let's see how that looks. So now visually, the bottoms of these letters are the same distance apart. And you can see how this leg of the A kind of nestles nicely. I mean, I could even get crazy with it and bring it past. I don't need to in this case. And what I'm going to do, I'm just looking at this visually. I'm not... I mean, I guess I did make this pretty exact. But let's just do... I kind of don't like it as I zoom out. Let's just grab the text here. I just want to explore something real quick. Okay, so there's the original version. I'm going to turn off the guides here. Super subtle difference, and I don't know if I like it. I don't know which way's better. If I look at this... Ew. Thank you. What is this? Basilberry. My wife just brought me this fancy drink. I have no idea. We're going to try it. Focus. It is pretty. I like the design very much. I don't know if the camera's going to focus on it. That's why you bought it, is because it's pretty. I've got her trained so well. We buy things because of the packaging, folks. That's how we do it in our household. That is pretty. Real basil, natural strawberry flavor. 0 calories, 0 sugar per can. What is this, a porcupine? Oh, look, it's a cute little porcupine with strawberries stuck to his back. Let me change the light so you can see it better. Whatever. That is cool. I like it. I'm digging it. Oh, you know what else I could do? This camera might see it better. I like it. Super cool. All right. All right. So we're looking at this letter A. Oh yeah, it's good. Good stuff. Definitely tasting the basil though. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, maybe something. All right. So here's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the letter A, where down here below the M and the N, the M. Here, let's change the color. All right, see the distance between these down here? I'm just going to make sure. Yeah, see the D isn't... What happened here? Did I like just make this up? This font actually probably did it automatically. Hey, what's up, Moonlight? Audio, visual. Hello from Brazil. Thanks for tuning in. It looks like my stream is pretty far behind. So. Oh, man. My wife is on top of it tonight. Fresh strawberries? Yes. Also, I just realized you can't see what I'm doing. So I better switch that back. Okay. So what I was talking about before I forgot to switch the camera is I'm looking at the spacing at the bottom of these letters here. And I can see, so I use shapes a lot to try and figure out if things are balanced. Good night from Atlanta, Georgia. What's up, Liv? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, how did that happen? Let me grab the original. See, this is why when I stream things, I got to pay attention, because sometimes stuff like this happens. And now I got to go find the original. This guy? Glad I checked on this before I packaged everything up. All right, so that's pretty much the right size. Okay, so we're just going to check this font. Don't worry about this right now. So we're going to do a couple things. I'm going to clone this down 3 times. Actually, I'm going to go ahead. Whoops. Yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do, this first one, I'm going to open up my character window here. I just hit Command T on my keyboard, or go up here to Window. Is it Window? Or is it Type? I feel like they moved it, and I can never remember because I just use the shortcut key. Where the heck is it? Type. Under Type, Character. No. Under Window, under Type. There we go. Okay. Sorry. It's been a while since I've gone through the window on this. So Window, Type, Character, Command T. There's the shortcut. All right. So with this window open, there's a few things we can do. The first is, so I'm using Montserrat. I don't even think I say the font right, but that's okay. I'm looking right here at these details to see. All right, I'm going to click right here, click on Show Options. So right now, the kerning is set to 0. If I change this to optical, that's better. Okay, see what it did there? It did what I did manually up above. So if I set this back to 0, watch the space between the T and the A right here. I think the rest of this pretty much stays the same. Go to optical. Okay. So these are the little changes that when you're designing a logo that make all the difference, and you don't maybe notice them at first, or you can't quite tell why, but then the more you look at it, you're like, something about this just looks different, right? That's one of those things. So the next thing I'm going to do, the next thing I want to show you is under the character window again. I'm going to click right here on the touch type tool. And then I can click on any one of these letters, and it's still a font, but I can get crazy with it. I can rotate it or do whatever I want to. In this case, I don't want to rotate it, but I can click on the letter T, and I can use my arrow keys now to nudge this over. And because it's at the front, it's nudging everything with it. So I'm actually going to click on the letter A and then nudge it left to kind of nestle it in under that T there. Okay. And then the third way is I can click on this. I can create outlines. I'll go to Type, Create Outlines. And now it's no longer a font. It's just a bunch of shapes. Okay. Click on it, Command Shift G, or go to Object, Ungroup. Hello from Bangladesh. What's up? Is it Shamim? Thanks for tuning in. Glad you're here. All right, so now that I've got these ungrouped, I can select just the front. No, I can't. I need to ungroup it. I don't think I actually did it. Command Shift G. Click off, click back. Okay, so I'll grab these. Then I can go to my Align palette, which right now they're up in my options bar, but I can come up here to Window and grab my Align, and I can distribute the spacing equally. So that's one way to do it. Grab these guys, do the same thing. And now I know that each letter is perfectly spaced. So if I grab another shape, letter M, and I just draw something between here, change the color so we can see what's going on. You can see that these are spaced exactly apart here. Okay. And then let's look at this. So maybe I want these letters to be the exact same on this one too. So I could bring this shape over. Okay. And I can start aligning these guys based on this shape. So these are the little details when people are like, hey, can you just make me a logo real quick? And you're like, yeah, that'll be $1,000. And they're like, what? I only have $50. These are the little details that separate you from the rest of the pack, right? Being able to go through and lock things down and get it perfect. How long do you take to design a logo on average? That's a question from Behance. Thanks, Ritwick, for that question. They are all over the place, and I have found that some of them I hit out of the park almost immediately, maybe on the first round. And I've got one logo I'm working on right now. If you're watching this, you know who you are. And I have like 8 rounds of revisions, but they're paying me. Like, I mean, it's just, there's a lot of people that it has to be approved by. And so we've spent a couple months on this logo already. This logo I made last night pretty quickly, and I used Bato elements for some of these. And then this Hydration Junkie logo, I think this took me, I did a couple rounds of revisions on this. I probably in total had, I don't know, maybe 4 to 5 hours into this logo. This is the final version of it, but that's kind of how long that took. So they're all different. And so pricing a logo, I don't price it based on the time. Typically, I price it based on its value. And the best video I've ever seen, you've probably already seen this, but if you look up the future on YouTube, I'll pull it up real quick and see if I can find it. Yeah, here we go. If you go to YouTube, search for the future with no E, and then type logo price. This one in particular that has over 3 million views is one of the best explanations of how to price your work. And there's a few others here, right? This is some of the best videos I could recommend for you to check out here. I'm going to post this. I don't know if this link will work for you in the chat, but we'll try. Anyway, how many ideas did I come up with while brainstorming? So again, sometimes I'm feeling it and I'll have a few ideas. Sometimes I'll give them like 2. I don't like to do more than 4. Between 2 and 4 looks is what I'll come up with. That way they feel like they have a choice, but that way it's not overwhelming. You don't give them too many looks and then all of a sudden they have a hard time making up their mind. I promise them when I tell them what I'm going to do, I tell them that I'll give them like 3 to 4 looks, so that's what they can expect. Let's see. All right, so what we're doing here, I didn't really get into the nitty gritty of the typography on this yet when I made this yesterday. So I think what I just did here with the spacing looks pretty good, and then I could even, get real specific and make this like 3 times the space in the gap here, or 2 times the space, right? I mean, I don't know. Honestly, like I just kind of make this up as I go along. I was trained formally. I went to college for 4 years. I have a bachelor's degree, but at the end of the day, like in some ways, art is so subjective. It's like whatever you feel like, right? And in other ways, there are right ways. There's reasons why some things look better than others, especially if you're doing like the Fibonacci series and the rule of thirds and all that kind of stuff. But in this case, I'm just kind of, I don't know. I'm just kind of kicking it around and exploring. All right, so I'm going to copy these. I'm going to group them first, Command G. Then I'll copy it. Then I'm going to jump over to what was going to be the final, but I'm cleaning things up here. Let's delete these. So where this got started is I was looking at the shape or the space between the T and the A, making sure it was set correctly. And then I noticed that it wasn't. So like this one down here is just too far out. There's too much space. I don't like it. And this almost maybe feels too close. I might visually just kind of pull it out a little bit. This was supposed to be a here's how to export this and be done with it stream, but then I realized I had more work to do. So you see this isn't the same gap, but it just visually it feels better. And if it's this far out, it's just too far. It just doesn't feel right. I could agonize over typography. Doesn't make me any better at it, but I sure spend a lot of time on it. One last question. How did you know this particular font will be the best for this logo? Hope I'm not annoying you. Oh, not at all, man. I love the questions. Also, what's up, Mimi from Tokyo? Thanks for joining in. So the question is, how did you know this particular font will be the best for this logo? So when I design, I found myself kind of revolving around the same 4 or 5 fonts, and so it's really hard to get out of that. And what's funny is I don't think I have any logos that use this font yet, but I know it's a very, very, very popular font, especially in web dev, because you can use Google Fonts and Font Squirrel and Adobe Typekit to pull this font in. So this was a project that I'm doing for a friend, and I didn't have 2 things. I didn't have a budget to go crazy on it, and I didn't have a lot of time because like I said at the beginning, my wife is going to have a baby literally this week, probably Friday. We're going to go in and have a baby. So I say we, it's her. I'll be there for moral support. Anyway, so I didn't have time to screw around with like a million different looks because he needs this for a project he's doing, and literally like tomorrow or this week trying to put together some materials for it. So I didn't have the luxury to just kind of like explore a lot of different options. So when I feel stuck with fonts and typography, what I'll do, because I love typography and I love looking at it. I have a hard time ordering food at a restaurant before I've thoroughly analyzed the menu. I don't know if you're like that or not, but when it comes to like fonts, I have a hard time choosing. So one of my favorite resources right now, and there's a lot of great resources online for font pairing, but if you go to fonts.adobe.com, right down here, there's a link for font packs. And you can see the link right here. I'll paste it in the chat on Behance. If I need inspiration or I'm feeling stuck, I'll kind of scroll through here and see all these great fonts that are available on Typekit, and then I can just view the pack and see if they just feel right to me, you know. And there's a lot. Oh, my books are up on my shelf upstairs, but I have a lot of books on typography too that talk about how to pair things and how to find a good font family. But sometimes it's difficult to know where to start. So as I look at these graphics, I like how they feel. And if it matches the brand I'm working with, I can go, oh, okay, well, this is Fairwater, or this is Gin, or Trade Gothic. And I can come down and I can read more about the collection. I can even click down here to activate all the fonts, and it'll activate all the fonts immediately into my Photoshop and Illustrator and Creative Cloud apps. So that is an awesome resource that I really enjoy. I hope that helps you over there. Thank you for the question. Feel free to ask me more questions. Is it Ritwick? Ritwick? I hope I said your name right. But yeah, ask away. I love this Q&A time is awesome. So that's why I do this, so that way I can help you guys out. Let's see. All right, so I got to lock down this typography. All right, let's delete. Let's see. Do I like it like that? Yeah, we're just going to go for it. Make sure it's grouped.
line about nothing. Why won't you go get you $1 or something? Don't hang with a line for nothing. I see that we different, you riding, I double. I don't do discussions on bragging about hundreds. Don't go to your places, I know that they sunken. Don't call me your brother, I barely could trust you. I talked to a shorty, she bagging the bucket. And I'ma need all of my dollars on corporate, so hand me the money, I divvy the pot. I'ma give all of my people a portion to build them a fortune.
So the other thing I could do with this logo is with this letter D, I could creep it past my guide a little bit because visually as I zoom out, it's going to feel better the way a curved letter. Anyway, I don't have a, okay. Sorry. I don't have a good example teed up to show you why. It's just when you have a font where there's a curve, I don't have a good example. Anyway, just visually it works. We're just going to go with that. I could choose to make it snap right to the guide and make it go like that. When I zoom in though, or zoom out, it feels like this line goes past it. It's just visually, it's an optical illusion. So we're gonna go like that. I'm gonna triple check the kerning here. Just to make sure before I commit to all this that I'm happy with it. It's nice and crispy. Is crispy the right word to use for this? Probably not, but I said it. What the heck is actually happening? Why is this all different? Glad I checked. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I sure like it to be close. That's how I roll. So I'm going to ungroup all these, highlight them all. In this case, they're tracked out so far that I can just go like this and everything can be the exact same. I'm going to group it, Command G to group. Then I'm going to align it to this parent object. Actually, we're going to align it centered to this guy. All right, that's centered now. Now these two, those are grouped. I'll make sure they're centered to this guy. Then I'm going to turn off my guides. I can delete this guy. We're going to group it. All right, I'm super happy with that. I feel like that looks really balanced, really well done. I think we're in good shape. I'm just kind of triple checking some things. I could get really, really over the top with things sometimes, like for example, this T, maybe I want it to line up with this A like that, which in this case it wouldn't work so good. But these are things I pay attention to, the relationship with shapes on the entire design. Like maybe this O right here, maybe, centered to the one above it. And again, I'm not going to do that right now, but those are things that I consider before I totally commit to it to make sure I like how it's the relationship of all the different shapes happening on this thing. Over on Behance, which freelancing platform do you rely on, which to get you the more sales? So I'm super, super fortunate. I've been doing this now for, like over 20 years. Is that right? That can't be right. Wow, that's right. Okay, so freelancing professionally since like 2008. So that's not 20 years. That's, 13? Math is hard. That's why I'm an artist. So when I first got started, I had a really hard time finding projects, especially in 2008 at the height of the economic collapse, basically, the first time around we did this. And my wife was super instrumental in helping me land work, and she's the one that helped me write contracts and stuff. And at the time, I forget the platform we used, but for the most part, it was word of mouth. It was having the right person, you do something good for them. Maybe you volunteer for a friend or some kind of a, what's it called? Like a charity. Or maybe there's a band or a musician doing coffee shop gigs and you want to help them make a poster. And just as you do more and more stuff, word gets out, and then people are, as you tell them, hey, I'm looking to do more design, or I'm looking to do more web development, you're going to attract more of what you do. So the more you do something, the more of it you're going to attract. And so I've just been doing this for so long that a lot of people in my community know that this is what I do, or they find my website. However, we still do supplement some of this with Upwork. So my wife made a course. It's called Freelance Like a Pro on Upwork. You can stream it on Skillshare. I also have it on our website. Let me see if I can show you real quick. But she goes through and she shows the crazy thing is that she made this course. It's this one right here, Freelance Like a Pro on Upwork. All right, there's my wife. So she, yeah, it's $50 on my website, but you can get it on Skillshare and you can stream it cheaper if you want to get it there. Either way, and she gives you the exact estimates and proposals that she used to win real work. And when she was making that course, she actually started a brand new profile from scratch, and she won, I don't know, like a $4,000 job. And then from there, it's grown and grown and grown. And so she shows you exactly, you literally copy the exact same things that she did. So the freelancing platform that I use, that's one of them. And then word of mouth. Right now I have about 3 or 4 clients that I work with. And then one of them actually hired me back in January. So I'm actually employed again as a creative director and a graphic designer. And so I'm kind of doing the full-time gig thing again. I work remote quite a bit. We also have a downtown office, so I go downtown and work a lot. But yeah, it's been awesome. It's been a lot of fun. Hello from Malaysia. What's up? Thanks for tuning in. Muzaker. I apologize. My chat roll is very tiny on the screen, and I'm trying to. You guys all have some awesome names. I've been thinking of a baby boy name. It's not too late to change it. I've got some ideas. If you have any ideas for baby boy names, you can throw them in the chat. Let me know what you think. We've got a lot of good ones we're kicking around. All right, let's see. Let's get back to this. Let's dial this in. Make sure we're good. We're grouped. It's looking good. I can turn my guides off. The song's about to have a good drop. Here it comes. All right. Thanks for the information. You are welcome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's see. All right. We've got this. I'm a little bit distracted, but I love this, guys. I love the questions, so keep them coming. I don't mind at all. All right. So now we could define 2 more versions of this thing. We've got the lockup. Let's ungroup this. We've got just this guy, and then we've got just this guy. And then we could do another version where it's horizontal. Okay, so we can give them a few things to look at. And visually, this is something else that I wouldn't say I struggle with, but I don't have like here's the exact rule you should follow. Sizing of this compared to this, I don't know. I'm just making this up, to be 100% honest. But what I am looking at is where his nose, like the baseline of this, if I just snap it there, if I'm getting real picky, I mean, I could maybe make it be right in the middle of that, and it just kind of feels like it balances there. Okay, that baseline. And then also, I said baseline, thinking about the baseline of the font, but then in my mind, I was thinking baseline of the music that I'm listening to right now. Can't turn it off. That's how I am. Okay, so I've got this negative space between here and just, I don't know, this space right here. Okay, so I'm looking at the relationship of how shapes are, and also I'm thinking about if this goes on a website and it's tiny, and this has to be small. Let's just scale it down here. Small. Does it still work? I think so. Yeah. It could be a little bit bigger, it meaning the text compared to the shape, but I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to leave it like that. And then as far as the spacing, like how far to the left, again, I'm just kind of like visually, I don't know. How's it look to me? Does it look like it has enough space? Does it need more space? Does it need less space? I don't know. Maybe I grab this letter, one of these letters, the letter M, Command C to copy it. I used my direct selection tool. Hit the letter A, and then copy it, and then I'll just paste it, Command V, just throw it on there anywhere. I'll bring this over as a unit of measurement. Look at that. That is almost Boom. I mean, it doesn't have to be fancy like this, you guys. I don't know. This is my process. This is how we do it. Do whatever you want, but this is how I do it. All right, that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. I think that's going to work well for him and the brand. I think it represents it well. So with the horizontal version, we've got the stacked version, we've got solo and solo. All right. Let's lose those though, because I don't need them here. I'm going to come back over to the hydration junkie and see what I did. I've got stacked and I've got horizontal, brand mark. Okay, fine. We'll bring it back. Let's grab stacked, brand mark, horizontal, clear space. And I'm going to hit Command F to paste all those in the exact same spot. So we're in the other one. You don't have to do that. I'm just doing it because why not? What's up, Robert, over on YouTube? The font on this one is, I don't think I'm saying it right, but it's Montserrat. Montserrat. I know I should know how to say this font. Like, I know it's a super popular font. I just don't know. It's this one. Montserrat. Ta-da. It's this one. Specifically, black. It's the black weight. And I don't know. The other weight. It's whatever the other weight is. Nope. Extra bold. It's black and extra bold. What's up, Volunteer Apps? Thanks for tuning in. Robert says, I always liked the name. Is it Tristan? Or did you mean Tistan? I think Tristan is what you meant, maybe. I was thinking like Gator or Broadsword. Or, no, I'm just kidding. I've been on too much TikTok. There's this TikTok where this guy's talking about like, you could name your kid whatever you want. Why are you not naming your kid something epic? So he says like Broadsword, Gator, Fat Tony the Enforcer. And I thought that was hilarious. I'm not going to do that to my son, but I'm thinking along those lines. Like, what could we do here? Like, there's some opportunities, I think. Maximus, Zeke. What else? I don't know. Yes, Tristan. Yep. Yeah. So, and I'm not planning on having more. Like, this is going to be my one and only son. Like, I'm not planning to have more kids after this. Jen and my wife and I have 4 daughters. So 5 kids total. It's a bunch. We love it. We wouldn't change it, but it's a lot. So I feel like there's a lot of pressure to get the name right because, yeah, because this is kind of the one and only shot at this, I feel like. All right. Let's keep going. Let's have some fun. We've got the stacked version. Gonna scale it down. And this is so something else to be careful of. A couple things. I'm gonna hit the letter S to get my scale tool, and I'm gonna hit return before I touch anything else. And I'm gonna make sure that scale corners and scale strokes and effects is turned on. And I might even use this window. Like, I could change this to like whatever percentage I want. I'll just say 70%, and then I'll hit return, or I could click OK. And you'll notice it immediately jumps that down 70%. So by doing it that way, I can guarantee that I don't accidentally scale this funny. For example, if I hit the letter E to get my free transform tool, and I start dragging this around, if I accidentally skew it, and I'll just do it over the top so you can see what I mean. Obviously you'd notice that, but let's say you do just a little bit and you didn't really notice it and you skew the logo. You don't want to do that, right? So you gotta be extra careful when you're scaling stuff to throw that shift modifier, that shift key in to make sure that nothing skews funny, okay? Super important. All right, so we got that. We're gonna group it. We got the stacked version. We've got the brand mark icon. We've got the horizontal version. And we're going to call this the word mark. Okay. All right. So let's throw these in here to make it look good. And I can't, iterate enough. Is that the right way to say this? Like, do whatever you want, you guys. This is me like years of just kind of playing around and refining my process. And every time I do it a little bit differently. Like, I'm not lining this up. Like, I brought it over from this other document to get it close, but you can see that I'm just kind of moving things around until I feel like it looks good. And this is probably me spending way too much time on this, like way too much time, but I enjoy it. I'm having fun with it. And why not? Like, let's just kind of go for it. All right, I'm not going to worry about clear space tonight on this logo. I'm not going to worry about that, so I'm just going to delete that. I say that, but I take it back. I'm going to worry about clear space. All right, so here's how we're going to do that. Thanks for sharing. You are welcome. Thanks for tuning in over on YouTube. I really appreciate it. If you guys are loving this, if you're learning something, if you want to stick around for more, be sure to like the video, maybe tap the subscribe if you haven't yet, or the follow if you're on Behance, and tap the bell for notifications on YouTube so you get notified when I go live. You can also jump in on my website over at derrickmitchell.com, and at the bottom of it, if you scroll all the way down, two things. Jump over to the tutorials page. I've got a lot more tutorials that are actually pretty to the point if you want to check these out. Got some cool stuff in here you can check out. Or scroll all the way to the bottom of any page on my website and throw your name and email in there, and you'll get access to my newsletter, which is, I just let you know when I go live, and sometimes I send you some awesome freebie, resources and stuff. So check that out. But thank you guys so much for jumping in. All right, let's keep going. All right, so I've got the word mark. I've got horizontal version, clear space. Okay, so for clear space, here's how we're going to do that. I'm just going to grab a letter. In this case, I'll grab the letter M. I'm going to change the color. And I'm going to use this as a relative unit of measurement. So rather than saying like exactly 1 inch, because if I scale it down, now 1 inch might be too much, or not enough if I make it too big. But if the size of this scales with the logo every time it gets scaled out, then I know that it'll always have the room it needs at any size. All right, and I'm gonna, before I get too far into this, no, I'm just gonna go with orange. Orange is great. Okay, and then I might rotate this. We'll go off the top of his ear. And make sure that under view you have your snapping turned on, or your smart guides actually. Smart guides. Whoa. I'm an Adobe programmer working on a barcode scanner algorithm to sell this video game package later on. That's cool and sounds super techy. Good for you. That's awesome. Very, very cool. Our barcode scanner algorithm to sell video game package later on. I don't even know what that means. That sounds awesome though. All right. So now what I'm going to do is hit the letter M to get my rectangle tool. I'm going to swap my fill to the stroke. So I'm going to hit Shift X. And I know that because if I hover over this little double arrow, it tells me to swap fill and stroke. The shortcut is Shift X. All right. So now do that. Change our stroke to be small. Let's make it a dashed line. Cool. Looks good. All right. Clear space. Boom. Now we have our clear space defined. I'm going to go ahead and line up all of these. Window. Align. Align left. There we go. Let's go ahead and align these to the top. Just cleaning up the canvas a little bit, making sure everything looks nice. All right, that's too much. And again, this is me being almost, what's the word? Obsessive compulsive? Is that the right word? I don't know. Oh my gosh, please don't take this much time laying out a details page. Or do. I don't know. Love your craft. Get good at it and have fun with it. You do you. All right, so let's grab that font, which is Montserrat. Whoop. Black. All right. Oh my goodness. Struggle bus. What did I say? It was black. And so the reason why I define my font over here is two reasons. One, for myself, it's a note for later. If I ever come back to this and everything's all outlined and I'm like, crap, what font did I use? I always have this breadcrumb to come back to and be like, oh yeah, that's what I did. I've got the hiccups from this amazing drink. If you missed it earlier in the stream, my wife brought me this. It's an Ora Bora basil berry, real basil and natural strawberry flavor. I don't know. Like I said, we buy things for the packaging. Usually anything we buy is because the packaging catches our eyes. I've forever ruined my wife. When we were first dating, she used to send me messages using papyrus because she knew that you're not supposed to use papyrus. But anyway, unless you're making the Avatar movie. All right, Montserrat, extra bold. I don't know what this was tracked out to, but whatever. That gets me in the ballpark. So the other thing is, if you're going to charge, thousands of dollars for a logo, like, you're going to need to do a brand package to show how to use the brand, right? And you can do whatever you want. And actually, I wonder, let me look at something real quick. So I love using Envato Elements and Adobe Stock. And I'll bet they have, what I call this, a brand guideline or a brand book. Let's just see. Presentation templates. No, graphic templates. There we go. So I could download one of these templates and flesh it out with his brand. Brand Guidelines template. Check this out. Cool. I dig it. So if you're looking for help on how to get started to build a brand guideline or a brand template, this is a great place to start. Oh, very cool. I don't know why the text when I show this looks faded. Let me see if I can fix this real quick. That'll be another day. Thanks for all the thumbs up. I appreciate that. Thanks for the likes. I have no idea why this is being weird. All right. Anyway. Okay, so yeah, these Envato Elements, I absolutely love this. I am an affiliate. I don't even have my affiliate link on here, so just, if you use it, enjoy it. I love it. You can download as much as you want. But yeah, brand guidelines. So if you're going to build a brand and you want to charge a premium, make sure that you take the time to set out everything you do once you're all done with it, okay? All right, so clear space. It's critical to maintain open areas around the logo so it remains recognizable and does not become lost in other page elements. Clear size. In this case, we use the height. Actually, we use the width in this case. The width of the letter M. Width of the letter M in Boom. All right. That makes sense, right? So the reason why we do this on our clear space, let me show you exactly why. If I scale this down, and I'm talking like really small, the sizing changes, right? Here, it's only this wide. Here, it's more, right? So it's the clear space scales with it when you scale it. That's why I do it this way. I hope that makes sense. What was the app, Taylor, that I used to find... Oops, dang it. I wish I could loop your comment into the feed. Taylor, what is the name of the app you use to find the names of colors? It's called SIP. S-I-P. SIP.app. And I think... Okay, hold on. Let me... So here it is up here. Here's what it looks like. So I can use the color picker from the native iOS. I can change all the, like I can control how it copies. Like there's a lot of options in here. It's really cool. And I feel like there's other stuff that I'm forgetting because I'm live streaming and distracted. But I think I bought this from their website directly. Either it's in the App Store now or it was, and now you can't get it in the App Store, but just search for SIP color picker. There's another one too, actually. Slurp. Slurp is the other one. Color Slurp. It does pretty much the same thing. Oh, hey, and check that out. 25% off spring sale. Ends May 1st. Upgrade to Pro for $6. What does that get me? Contrast checker. Check the contrast between two colors. This is great if you're colorblind or if you're trying to build stuff for accessibility. Find beautiful color harmonies. That's cool. I don't know. I kind of want to upgrade, but I'll circle back to that. Anyway, Slurp is another one. I don't see it in my options because this window's open, but oh, there it is. Okay, Slurp is another one. Basically does the same thing. It's the same but different. However, yeah. Oh, what? I have to buy Pro to get... That doesn't make sense. I don't know. I really like SIP. It's my favorite. And then the other thing that I use a lot also is Adobe Color. So color.adobe.com. I used this in yesterday's stream as well. Super, super, super cool. Color.adobe.com. Check this out. Great place to build color themes. And there's a lot you can do here. So check this out. There's a lot of menu options up here. So many cool things you can do on this. Like, 100% recommend checking out color.adobe.com when you get a minute. Okay. Boom. So now that I've scaled this, notice my stroke is different on these two. So what I'm going to do is grab this rectangle, get my color. Nope. What is this? Eyedropper tool. And I'm going to click over here on this one so they match. So they're the same size stroke. Okay. We'll save it. And maybe for consistency, I'm going to change the blue over here to match this orange. Whoa, that got weird. Oh, it's because it... Oh my goodness, what is happening? Okay, apparently it really doesn't want to be orange. There we go. All right, we got our font defined. Now what I would do is go through and define all of these colors. And to be honest, I don't even know if I'm going to use all these colors because this is all remnants of other stuff. So to make sure, let's see, how many colors is this logo? It's a couple gradients. I'm just going to change all this so that way I know if I've updated the title or not. I'm not sure what art I would bring into this. I'm not exactly sure what you mean, but that sounds cool. All right. gradient. That'll stay that way. Okay. Just going to change all these to orange, so it's very obvious they need to change. Okay, so let's start defining the colors from these things. Like character, logos, isometric art. Yeah, hit me up. Email me. Just email me. So volunteer apps. Derrick at derrickmitchell.com. Whoops. Email me Derrick at derrickmitchell.com and we can maybe figure something out. Also, keep in mind, like I said, my wife's about to have a baby. Literally could be tonight, and it will be for sure by Friday if it doesn't happen sooner. So after this stream, maybe one more stream, and then I'm probably in baby mode for the next couple weeks. So if I don't get back to you guys on email or whatever, I love you all. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back up. I'll be back up eventually, but if you don't hear from me, that's why. So yeah, let me write that. Derrick at derrickmitchell.com. Yeah, hit me up. Mango Wave Games. Cool. Thank you. Yeah, I'll be looking for that email. Hit me up. All right. I'm going to go ahead and delete this. Actually, I'm going to go like this. For those of you who are interested in my website. There it is. Okay. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. We've got everything defined. We were working on colors. I'm going to, gosh, what's the best way to do this? So that's the gradient. That's the solid. Oh, that's also, yeah, we did that. I forgot. So we basically just did one giant gradient. Trying to decide if I want to define these colors separately. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Okay, so I've got the main gradient color. I'm going to hold on shift when I click, and it's going to sample just the spot where I click, which that blue does not look like it matches because it doesn't. Oh, it's because I've got visualize turned on. So let me turn this app off. This app, when I do a click, it turns the mouse that blue so you can see that I clicked. I'm gonna turn that off real quick. So the color samples actually work. Shift click. That's better. Shift click. And let's do this guy. I'll have to change the order on these, but that's all right. Do this guy. And that is plenty to define a brand. All right. Cool. All right, so these are my colors. Bruno, what's up over on Behance? I see you. Let's see. I'm starting on this freelancing world. How much do you recommend charging for a logo? Such a super loaded question, Bruno. And also, I pasted up here. I'm going to bring this over so you can see. This link right here. I just did a quick Google search for the future logo price. I 100% recommend watching all of these videos. And that'll help you a ton. So my logos typically start at about $1,500 is what I charge for a logo. When I first got started, I think I did a few for like $50. Then I kind of moved up to 500, and then now I'm at about 1,500 would be for me to even look at it. Such a random number to throw out though. Like that's such a hard thing to be like, well, why so much and how many hours does it take? So that's a whole loaded question to get into. The other thing to think about, Bruno, is you're going to attract more of whatever you do. So if you want to get into logos, you might have to start practicing with some people's logos and maybe do it either for free or for, a deep discount while you practice. Or, charge full price, whatever that means. And then, maybe you're spending extra time to make sure you get it locked down and looking good, right? And if you want help when you're designing your logo, Bruno, or anybody else who wants to join us, I have a Facebook group, and I'm not on Facebook very much. We'll get into that here in a minute. Yeah. Why does this look different? I'm on Safari. That's why. Okay, so I've got this group called Complete Graphic Design. It's about 17,000 members here. And there's a mentorship group. There's lots of cool stuff happening. You can post your work and get feedback on your stuff. Like I said, I'm not in Facebook as much right now. I deleted Facebook and Instagram and TikTok actually from my phone because I was just being too distracted and too emotionally caught up in negative stuff. So, but I do jump into the group from my computer and say hey and whatever. So check out that group if you want to join. That's a great place too as you're working through these logos to get feedback. Okay. All right, let's grab these colors. And I'm gonna use my eyedropper tool, and I'm not gonna select anything. I'm just gonna sample the color and then hit Option to throw the color over here. Just a little bit of a faster way to work. All right, so I'm not gonna need, okay, actually. What's up, Karthik? I see you on Behance. Thanks for jumping in. Right now we are getting ready to export this logo. Getting super close. And this is me having fun in the stream, maybe going a little bit over the top, just a little bit over the top. What I mean by that is I'm building this details page. And I'm having a lot of fun doing it, but you do not need to build out a page this detailed. You just don't. But it's fun. And I love doing this stuff, so I spend a lot more time doing it than I probably need to. Two, four, six. Thank you very much. Was it Sejipin? Man, I love all your guys' names. I was saying, I see you. Thank you. I can't pull your comments into my feed because I can't. It doesn't sync with Behance yet. But I see you. And I love looking at all these names. Like I was saying, my wife's about to have a baby literally this week. And we've been looking for baby boy names. I've got some ideas. I'm pretty sure I know what I'm going to name him. But we'll see. There's still plenty of time for me to change my mind. I tell my wife I have to see what he looks like first. And it absolutely drives her bonkers. So, but it's true. I gotta know what he looks like before I can commit to it. Okay. Let's see. So what I'm going to do, I think, to spare you guys the pain of going through all of this, I might skip ahead to the next steps. Let me know in the comments. Thank you very much. Congrats. I appreciate that. I am super pumped. I've got 4 daughters, and this is my first and one and only son. So we're stoked. Exactly. Keep in mind what kids will call them and what relatives will shorten it to. That's 100% what our struggle is. Am I going to show you the baby? What's up, Jessica? Thanks for jumping in. Eventually, yeah. After this stream and maybe one more good stream, and then I might need to push pause for a minute because babies are fun. However, there's no rest. Okay, so let's talk about how I do these colors, and a couple little things, just the little things that I feel like separate what I do from some other things. So what I mean by that is, as I'm defining colors, for example, this dark blue, let's open this up. I'll take a screenshot of this, Command Shift and the number 4 on a Mac. On a PC, there's a print screen button, but it's been so long since I've done that, so I don't remember if it works exactly like you want it to. But anyway, grab a screenshot of this. Before I let go of my mouse, I think you can see what I'm doing here. I'll hold down the Control key, okay? And by doing that, if I were just to let go of the mouse without the Control key, it's going to take this picture and save it to my desktop. But I want to save it to the clipboard. So by holding down the Control key and then letting go of the mouse, it saves it to my clipboard, so I can jump in here real quick. I'll hit cancel because I want to see these numbers. And as soon as I click out of here, they'll go away. So I'll click OK. I'll paste this image that I just took a picture of. All right, and now I can see this color, the CMYK values, okay? So now I can say, okay, 98%, 84%, 36, and 27. And so if there's a value that doesn't make sense, for example, this color before that I had used here. Also, I have no idea what the song is saying. I hope it's appropriate. We're gonna skip it just in case. Actually, it's probably fine. Anyway, so I put 1% black in here, okay? It was 0 when I first defined this color for this other project, but I put 1% black. And the reason why is when you blend to darker colors, if it goes from 0 of any of these colors to then 100% or 70% or whatever, you're going to get these white banding. And so by having even just 1% of a color in there, the ink will blend across the colors better and you have smoother gradients. And in fact, on my YouTube channel, I have a video where I talk about exactly that and how to get super smooth gradients. Yeah. That's awesome. Volunteer apps. Very cool. All right. I got distracted. We were fixing colors and stuff. I'm not done with this, but that's the approach. That's how I go through and define colors. So if I need to tweak the hex values or the cyan, magenta, yellow, and black values to get it just right, I'll do that. And then I might even reapply the color to the artwork later. Okay. All right. So this is headed the right direction. I'm not done yet. All these hex codes aren't done yet. All the CMYK. You can see that's just a ton of work to do. And then what I would do is I'd get SIP. I love this app so much. Mostly I just love the creative names. So this is Biscay. Super fancy. This is Tufts Blue. I don't know if I can copy the name or not. And sometimes, for no particular reason at all, did I just close it on accident? There we go. If I don't like the name of it, like maybe I'll try something just a little bit different and just see what the name turns into. Matisse. Or Matisse. I don't know. Guys, this is, again, just showing you my process and how I think about things and why I do the things that I do when I'm designing stuff. Yeah. Thanks for looking over my shoulder. I hope you're enjoying it. Summer Sky. This is Patton's Blue. All right. Cool. I got my colors. The CMYK values are not defined yet. The hex values are not defined yet. So I'll click on this. I'll double click on the swatch. I'll double click on the hex value, copy it, come over here and paste it. Pantone, I don't think I'm going to define Pantone swatches for this project because I don't have my Pantone book in front of me. I could do it through, there's a way to convert it. My brain is not there right now, so I'm not going to worry about it. I must have already defined that one. All right. Oh yeah, it did. It did. It says it did have the hex value in SIP when I did that, and when I copied it, it actually did copy it there too. See, exactly. What's up from Cambodia? Thanks for tuning in. All right, I think I defined the hex codes. I think we're good there. All right, so the next thing I would do, grab this. Let's take a screenshot of these numbers here. All right, so this is 13. This is 2. Yellow is 0. This is one where yellow and black are 0. It's such a light shade. If I wanted this to be a smoother transition, I'd grab this color and I might throw like 1% of yellow and 1% of black in there. It dirties it up just a little bit, but it's going to fade better with the other colors. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it. But now I got to redefine the hex color. It's going to be a little bit different. All right, that's looking good. Let's grab Summer Sky. Let's take a screenshot of it. Command-Shift-4. Hold down Control. $68.10. Oh, crap. This had 0 and 0 also. So let's grab this. Let's throw 1 and 1. Let's grab that hex code. Let's take a fresh screenshot just so I don't get confused. $68.10, 1 and 1. Update the hex code. So you guys can see this takes a lot of work. But when you're all done, you've got a very cohesive brand and guide to send to your client. Do I want to avoid 100% as well or just 0? All right, so that's a great question. Hello from China. Good to see you. All right, so the Uriel's question, do you want to avoid 100% as well or just 0? So when I do blacks, actually, I do more than 100%. So here's how that works for me. Let's just do 2 black boxes here. This one on the left, we're going to do rich black. This one on the right, we're going to do regular black. 0, 0, 0, 100. So depending on your monitor, you might not see a difference in this at all. The one on the left is what we call rich black. The one on the right is like a flat black or 100%. This is what you would use in text if you're using InDesign. You don't want multiple colors on your fonts or your text because if the registration gets off and the colors shift a little bit, you'll get it'll look fuzzy and it won't look very good. But when you're doing shapes and stuff, you want them to print really rich and beautiful. Not everybody, a lot of designers have their own little formula they use. I use 60, 40, 40, 100. So 60% cyan, 40% magenta, 40% yellow, and 100% black. And so collectively, this fills at a 240% fill. So if you add all of these percentages up, otherwise you might get what's called, I think it's called ink lift. But what happens is the ink never dries. If you get it too much ink in printing and you lay down like 100% of everything, it's never going to dry and you actually get what we call lift off, where like the ink, if the pages like stick together and it lifts off. I used to work in a print shop years ago, forever ago. So I'm forgetting some of my terms. It's been a while, but That's how I get rich black. That's my color formula: 60, 40, 40, 100. So the original question was, do you want to avoid 100% as well, or just 0? No, you could do 100% of any of the colors, but I wouldn't do 100% of every color. Okay. And let's see. Let me see if I can find this for you. I'm looking. It's about to make noise, probably. I'm searching my YouTube channel for you. Oh, it's right here. It's one of my latest videos. I'm going to grab this. I want to talk about gradients. I'm going to pause it. Oh my goodness. This is a vintage video. This video I can see from my old, this is like, I've moved so many times, but the green wall, this old office. So this is a while ago. Okay. But anyway, there's a link to the gradients video if that's helpful. Do I design with a CMYK adjusted monitor? Currently, it is not adjusted. I bought a Dell Ultra Sharp monitor. I really like it a lot. It's a 27-inch. The colors are I found to be very accurate, but I have not actually done the calibrating on this yet. Been here like 5 minutes, already learning a lot. Thank you. Yeah, glad. I love this. I love these streams where I get to just kind of like show you guys stuff and answer questions. So I absolutely love it when you guys jump in and ask things. Do I have courses on Udemy? I do. Check out the graphic design bootcamp. I got a bunch of courses on Udemy and on Skillshare and on my website at derrickmitchell.com/vault. Check that out too. Actually, just for playing, Uriel, hey, hit me up, email me, completegraphicdesign@gmail.com. I want to give you the graphic design bootcamp. So Uriel, email me. Also, keep in mind, my wife has been the one that's been letting students into the group and into the courses when I do giveaways. And she just told me she hasn't been able to do that in the last week. I've been giving away all the stuff on my streams. So there's a few of you that have not gotten access yet, and I'm so sorry. Keep in mind, my wife is super pregnant and about to have a baby, like literally in the next 2 days. So life is a little crazy right now. But yeah, Uriel. Course. Boom. All right. Oh, cool. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you for your support then. All right, let's get back into what we were doing. We talked about rich black. We talked about flat black. When you're doing text and stuff, you want to make sure it's flat, not rich. Unless you're doing a logo, then maybe you do it in rich black. Super confusing. I know. And speaking of, I did not even look. Wow. That's what happens when I do things live stream. I'm going to look at what color this is. Luckily, it's not. Oh, yeah, I can live with that. That's a cool, almost black, but not. I don't even know how I did that. But it looks good. I like it. I dig it. And we can change it. All right. So we've got our colors defined. We've got our hex values. I stopped halfway through. I think we stopped here. So now I got to double check this. Yeah, we did. Okay. I'm going to add 1% here and here. I'm going to grab this hex code. Update it. Let's go back to this color and let's grab it real quick. All right, so this was 78, 42, 1, and 1. Boom. Is that all of them? Did we do this one yet? 98, 84, 36, 27. So here's an example of the hex code is right. I don't remember changing whatever. This is where, oh man, I'm probably way the heck overkilling this. But again, it's my process and I like it. So whatever. Boom, we are done. The colors have been defined. We got our brand details. We've got our color names, our CMYK values, our hex values. I could drop in the Pantone swatches. I don't have that with me right now. There's a way to do it. I'm not even going to try right now just because my brain is not there. But I could pull. There's a way to pull the Pantone values. Google it. I'll bet you somebody did it on YouTube one time. Greetings from Turkey. What's up? Thanks for jumping in, Gulsa. I appreciate you being here. You guys are awesome. Thanks for sticking around. All right, so we've got our details page defined. So good. So true. Yeah, for $10,000, you can definitely overkill it. He's saying like, yeah, if your client's paying you 10 grand to define a logo, you can do. I'm okay making revisions and making sure that everything looks just super polished and well done. 100%. All right, so we're all grouped. That's grouped. Let's align these here. All right, I'm digging that. I think that's going to work for us. All right, we got our details page ironed out. And I don't know if you've been noticing, but I've been hitting Command S repeatedly to save my work. I'm going to open up Visualize again so you guys can see my keyboard shortcuts, if that helps you guys follow along. All right, so let's hit letter F to cycle through my view here. Because I'm going to go back to this original Hydration Junkie logo that I designed, the original document that we talked about. Okay, so let's play around with this. Something I didn't do yet. Typically, I like to make a logo in a dark or grayscale, so we're not looking at the colors. And then I like doing it on white or white logo on color, just to kind of see how it looks reversed out to make sure the shape works. And I know this is going to work in white, but I might need to spend some time with it. So let me just kind of play with this for a second and see what happens. So what I'm doing now, Shift O to get my artboard tool. Up here in the name, I'm going to hold down the Option key and then click and drag. And it's going to copy everything over. So that's a nice little trick if you're trying to, create multiple of the same thing. But honestly, I don't want any of this garbage on here. So it might have been just as easy to make a new one, a new artboard. All right, so I'm going to throw this here. Actually, no, look at that. I could have just I deleted everything. I'm going to start with this guy. I'm going to scale him back up. All right, so this is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, or the canvas, I guess, is 4 and 8.5 by 11. So I'm going to click once. I'm going to draw a rectangle. So I want half of 11, so that's going to be 5.5 for the width, and then the height is still going to be 8.5. Click OK. And now I've got a rectangle that's exactly half of this canvas, okay? And I can snap it into place because I've got my smart guides turned on. Or I could click on it and I could use my align to align it to the right and vertical centers. Okay, now I've already got this gradient sampled from over here. So I'm hit the letter G to get my gradient tool. I'm going to zoom out here. I'm going to click way down here. All right, now let's grab this guy. I'm going to duplicate this shape actually. And the only reason why is so that way I can throw this to the back, shift click, and then click once more on the shape. So now I can align this logo to the center. I'll just delete this now. I don't need it anymore. Actually, I do. Let's drag a copy over this way. I don't want to do it that way. This way. There we go. Okay, so I've got the version on white. Yeah, you can do math in the boxes. It's crazy. So if I wanted to, I could do 11 inches minus 2 inches, and it tells me, hey, that's 9 inches actually. Super cool. But I actually forgot about that. So thank you for the heads up on that. I love it. You use a gaming mouse, and one of the extra mouse buttons is set to save. Such a good idea. I could do that on this Wacom tablet, maybe. I could probably do that. Program one of these to just be my save button. So smart. Such a good idea. All right. This is probably going to break, but let's just try it. I'm just going to select the logo. get my eyedropper tool and click over here. And it turned it blue because I have visualize turned on, so it turns all my mouse clicks blue. So let's just double click in here. Let's make it. And it's more of a seafoam green for being super technical about it. All right, so this does not translate into one color very well. So we've got to do some work here. I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to hit Shift M to get my shape builder tool. And I'm going to experiment with this. This might not work. I'm going to hit Option and click. Yeah, this is not going to do what I want it to do. All right, so what's going to be a better way to do this? Okay, let's grab this guy. Command Shift G to ungroup from the text. Let's just grab this one. I'm going to fill. So right now there's no stroke. So I hit X to swap. So my fill was in front. Now I hit X. Now the stroke is in front so I can select something. And I'm just going to get my eyedropper tool and shift click to fill with this blue color, just to kind of experiment. I just want to see if this is going to work. I might need to spend some more time on this version. All right. I don't like that at all. All right, so this needs some more love, some more TLC to make it work on white better. Maybe if I just delete this piece. Okay, that was good. That brings back the eye a little bit. Let's delete this piece. That didn't work. All right, so let's grab this. Command Shift G. Shift M to get my shape builder tool. Let's cut these guys out. All right, that's better. All right, all these little pixels and stuff. All right, BRB. All right, we'll see you in a minute. Let's see. Okay, it's looking better. Not sure about the jawline. All right, I think that's passable. I mean, it's an option. We don't have to use it, but I think that works pretty good. I could maybe do something in here. Oh, that's kind of curved weird, but I don't know if I want to screw around with this right now. All right, so what we're going to do, I'm going to get, let's see. Let me get my pen tool. It's just a thick shape, so I'm gonna break it up a little bit, I think. All right, that ought to do. All right, I'm gonna hit X. No, nope. I'm gonna turn that off. We're gonna come to my fill. Let's add like an orange or something obnoxious so I can kind of see what's going on here a little better. That way you can too, hopefully. Okay, now Shift W I think is the one I want. Yeah, that is the width tool. So now I can grab a stroke and I can grab and drag anywhere I want to add different widths to a stroke. Super cool tool. And I think that's going to get me there. I think just like that is probably enough. So what I did which was kind of difficult to see. Technically, this is still a stroke. I just sampled the color from here, holding down the shift key just to grab this point, not to grab the gradient itself. All right. So now what I'm going to do, I think, I can't tell if I like that or not. All right. Well, if I was going to keep it, here's what I would do. I've got this as a stroke. I'm just going to change the color back so you can see it easier. That's a stroke. Let's go to my stroke options. Let's round out the corners here. So these round out. Smooth it out. So what I'm going to do is come up here to Object, Expand Appearance. And I'm going to, that way it's no longer a stroke, it's a shape. Then I can Shift click, Shift M, Option. Okay. And basically what I'm doing is I'm just subtracting shapes by using shortcut keys to get these tools over here. So I know I throw a lot of shortcuts out, a ton of shortcuts, but guys, this is how I make all my money, is I get fast. I get really fast. So if I can design a logo in an hour and charge $1,000 for it, that's a really good day, isn't it? It doesn't ever go like that. But if I could, being fast is how you're able to do that. Okay. So learn your shortcuts. It's getting late. You guys are hanging with me. Thanks for hanging out. All right, so we've got that. I'm happy with it. I think if I want to, I can cut this out. I could go either way. I'm not quite sure. Whatever. We're going to leave it. We're going to move on. Okay, so now we're going to do, jump back over here, and I don't remember what I called this. Comparisons. Sure, why not? Let's call it comparisons. So this is just text that I put up here. It does absolutely nothing other than just a visual. It doesn't even print. I just have it there so I can see it. But if I get to my canvas tool or my artboard tool, I can see that it's called details up here in the name, and that will actually go out to the file when you export it. Okay, so let's go to this guy real quick. This is called details copy. Well, let's call it comparisons. I don't know. We can call it whatever you want. Doesn't matter. Okay. Now, let's build out. What do we want to do? We've got horizontal black. Oh, man. We could go one color, full color. Okay. So we got a lot of work to do. So I'm going to use this with my clear space guide to set this up, because now what I can do is hit Shift O to get my artboard tool. And I can hover right over the corner here and click and drag, and just like that, I've got a canvas with built-in clear space. And then I can just delete those guys and delete the border. Boom. And now when I export this as a JPEG, it's going to have the exact amount of clear space around it. All right, so we've got the full color version. Full color horizontal. And I guess if this was full color, we might even consider doing that to the bottom text. I don't know. I didn't really get approval from the client because I'm making this up as I go, but I think it's cool. Yeah, he's going to dig that. I know he will. All right. So there's the full color. Let's go ahead and name. I'm going to copy this. Let's go ahead and name that artboard here. So now when I export this, it's going to export the name of the file, which is going to be super long, but it's Take Command Project Mustang logo. Then it's going to add whatever I put up here, in this case, full color logo horizontal. This is going to be the world's longest file name, but that's all right. He'll know exactly what it is. All right. full color horizontal. This music is aggressive for being midnight. It's all good. All right. This will be this will be one color. Which I need to grab this guy. Hey, what's up? Thanks for jumping in. Expatrix over on YouTube. No, over on Twitch. What's going on? Thanks for jumping in. I know I'm not streaming Fortnite, although I could. My wife and I play Fortnite, and we love it. And I think it's hilarious that we play Fortnite, but we do. I used to be pretty good at it, and I feel like I've been so busy with other things I haven't played very much right now. And that's kind of a cool look. Look at that. That's an accident, but that looks really cool. Digging it. All right, but delete. Boom. Oops. All right, there's the one color version. Or how about call it horizontal black. And it's technically not black. Let's make it black. Let's make it 100% black. 0, 0, 0, 100, which isn't going to be a rich black, but it'll be black. Boom. Copy this text. I'm going to grab this, change the name. All right, we got black. Let's make a white version. I'm trying to get my guides to show up to make these the same distance apart, but whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay. So we're going to make a white version, but you're not going to be able to see it. So for now, let's need grouped. How you guys doing? Nice logo. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. All right, there's black, there's white, there's full color. And now we get to do the same thing. Oh, do we want to do the same thing for everything right now? It's getting late. Yeah, let's just go. Let's just go faster. All right. So if I was following instructions with my other logo, I would build in my clear space for this as well. So all I'm doing right now is using a shape, a common shape inside of the logo to build in my clear space. And clear space is just honestly that, just giving your logo space to clear around other things so it doesn't get too congested with other things in your design. If that makes any sense. If it doesn't make sense, I'm sorry. Why? Oh, it's because that's a shape. Got it. All right. All right, so there's my clear space. I'm gonna group this and I'm just gonna stash it over here. There might not be enough clear space, but it's a start. I can analyze this later when I'm not streaming. I'm using all my mental brain power. Oh man. Window, align, distribute, link. You need to design too. What are you working on? All right, there's that. There's that. Didn't you say, weren't you the one that was in my stream yesterday? You're in high school and wanting to learn about graphic design. Is that you? Just some t-shirt for esport. I've got some t-shirt design. What's up, man? Thanks for coming back. In my YouTube channel, if you go to, let's see, go to my website, derrickmitchell.com. Up here, I've got a link that says tutorials. Click on that. This very first one, actually, graphic t-shirt design with Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop. I did this a while ago. I don't remember. I don't know. I remember feeling like this was a good tutorial. Check it out, though. Hopefully that helps you out. DerrickMitchell.com, and then right here, tutorials. It's right here on my YouTube channel. So, cool. All right. We've got our clear space. Let's make an artboard. Let's delete our extras here. All right, so this is going to be I need to learn Illustrator because I suck at Illustrator. Yeah, you learn by doing, right? The other thing to keep in mind is, so I've been doing this, I lose track, for a long time. And one thing is, when you don't use it, you lose it, right? So like, there'll be seasons where I'm just doing like just a ton of web development or something, right? Or WordPress sites, or even when I was teaching graphic design courses, I wasn't actually using the software for clients. And I found myself getting really good at Adobe Premiere, editing the videos better than I was actually at graphic design because, it's just how it was. What do I use for webs? So I looked into using, what's the new one that's out? Webflow. You see all these Webflow commercials now. Super cool. It wasn't a good fit for what I was doing specifically with my clients. But I'm really interested in, maybe using that. It's got some really cool animation things. If you check out Lottie Animations, super cool web technology right now. Go to lottiefiles.com and you can create like After Effects animated graphics that then pull into websites with JavaScript and some other stuff. Like super cool stuff. And so I was looking into this. So like some of the Apple site where you scroll and things animate as it moves, you can do that with Lottie Files. And so Webflow University, YouTube, check this out. If you're interested in building websites, check out Webflow University. Really, really cool stuff right now. Currently I'm building most of my stuff on WordPress with the Salient WordPress theme. I used to build stuff in Adobe Dreamweaver from scratch until I realized that just took too much time and effort for what clients wanted to pay me for. So I stopped doing it from scratch. What's up, Stone? Thanks for popping in. Welcome to the feed. Right now, basically what we're doing is, this is a logo I made in yesterday's stream. I worked on it, and now I'm creating this way over the top. By over the top, I mean I've spent a lot of time so far in this stream getting all the details dialed in exactly for this details page. So I defined the brand mark, the icon, the stacked version, the word mark version, the horizontal version. I defined the clear space. So if you missed it, the replay will be up once this is all done. I talk about the logo base fonts, and then I go through and I define all the colors for the brand. So it's definitely a ton of work, but I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. And right now what I'm doing is I'm using artboards to create an artboard for each version of this logo. So that way here in a minute, what we're going to do, for those of you who are ready for bed, or maybe you're just getting started depending where you're at in the world, you come here to File, down to Export as, when this is all said and done, and then I can choose Use Artboards down here, and I can export any file type I want, and it's going to spit out every one of these as a separate file. So that's what we're doing right now. We're getting ready to be able to batch export everything with basically one button click is the goal here. So I'm just so close. All right. All right, we'll make this guy black, and we're gonna do like a flat black, not a rich black. So usually for rich black, I know I said this earlier, but I do 60, 40, 40, and then 100 to get my black super rich. Okay. For this specific use though, I'm gonna make this just 100% black, which isn't quite as rich, but for producing things on the back end of this, it's better for some things. All right, let's see. Whoops. Whoa, that's neat. I just hit my mouse scroll button on my broadcasting software and it made my camera thing go weird. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I wish I could copy this address from here, but I'll throw it in the video. What is that? I'll have to check that out later. Cool. All right, so I've got the full color stacked. One color stacked. All right, looking good. And then let's do one more. I did this up above too. Stacked black. Stacked white. All right, so this one's called full color stacked. Oh, come on. Sorry, I got super focused, you guys. I'm trying to get all these details without forgetting what I was doing. Razor focus, 100%. I call it code mode, or what's the other one? Trance something. I don't know. My wife knows the look though. When she comes in to ask me a question and I get like this, she knows anything she says 100% is not sticking in my brain. It's in one. She knows she has to make direct eye contact if she's going to tell me anything important while I'm doing this. Anyway, funny. All right, cool. I think we're just about there. Stacked white, stacked black, horizontal black copy. All right, so we got to change this name to horizontal white. Whoops. Horizontal black, horizontal full color. All right, I think we got it, guys. I think that's everything. Don't forget to save your work, because that's a bad day in the office if you forget. What's up? Nishat from Behance. Wow, loving the process. Thank you. What's up, Texas? Actually, oh, you're saying in Texas, so Central Time. Got it. Okay. Oh, so it's like 1 a.m. where you're at. What are you doing up? Go to bed. This looks a lot like what you do for client stuff. That's awesome. Cool. All right, so I think I'm done with this, guys. At least done enough for now. I can double check in the morning and make sure I didn't forget anything. So what we're going to do is come up here to File, Export, Export As. All right, so I'm under, let's see. In the Finals folder. All right, let's do the PNGs because it's already right here. I'm just going to click Use Artboards. I'm going to make a new folder. I'm going to call it PNG. Click Create. And so the title is going to be all of this stuff. I'm going to add a shift underscore. I don't remember if it does it automatically or not, but I'll throw it in there. And then it's going to, what we call concatenate, if you're feeling nerdish and borrowing from Microsoft Excel. We're going to merge those two things together, the title of the file and then the title of the artboard. Okay. So it's going to slam that together. So we'll go ahead and click export. If you wanted to, you could do a range. So let's say I wanted to do artboard 1, which would be my details, and then maybe comma, and then artboard 4 through 7 or something. So to export artboard 1 and then 4, 5, 6, and 7. So you can do that here in the range box or just click all. We'll click export. And then what we're going to do right here, I'm going to leave the resolution high on this. And I'm going to make the background color transparent. I could make it white, but that kind of defeats the purpose of doing transparency. Now, I already noticed something I have to come back and fix. Yeah, let's go ahead and fix it now. I'm going to hit cancel. I'm going to hit save because I'm going to come back to my document in this stage, but I'm going to delete the black boxes behind the white logos. Okay. So obviously we can't see them, but when we export the PNG files, they'll be there. So we'll go to export, export as PNG, use artboards. Let's throw it in this PNG folder. Let's add this dash to the end here. I think it does it automatically again, but I don't remember. All right, let's click export, 300, transparent. Okay. All right. Going to bed as soon as I finish this flyer. Awesome. Thanks, Uriel, for jumping in and sticking around. Good luck with the flyer. I hope it goes well. All right, PNG. So now check this out. It exported every artboard, and it gave me an extra, but whatever, it's fine. So now if I hit the space bar, I can preview all of these and see how they look. I maybe should put a white box behind that one. It's all right though. Cool. So these will have transparency behind them. So if I drop them into a flyer or on a website, the background will show through if you want it to. Cool. Looks good. Worked out perfect. All right. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that, Xpatrix. All right. So we got the PNGs done. Let's do some JPEGs now. We'll do a web version. And we're going to do a JPEG. Oh my goodness. My computer's like refusing. There we go. JPEG print. We're going to do a PDF. We're going to do a EPS. I think that's it. Yeah, that'll get us there. All right, let's do it real quick. So I don't need the white anymore like this, because a JPEG, it would just come across all as white. So I'm going to hit Command Z and bring that black background back. Okay, now let's go to File, Export, Export As. This time we're going to use artboards. We're going to change it from PNG down to JPEG. We're going to step up a level and go to my JPEG for print. This will be the print version. All right, we'll click export. And so because it's print, I want the color mode to be CMYK. We're going to max it out. The resolution will be 300. And I'm going to make sure that embed ICC profile is selected, so my colors have the best chance of looking the right way across platforms. So I'll click OK. All right, that should be done. So I'll hit File, Export again. This time we're going to do the JPEG for the web. JPEG web. Use artboards, still using a JPEG. Click Export. This time we're going to change the color mode to RGB. And we're going to change the resolution to 72. And I might even crunch this down a little bit to like 7. So that way the JPEG is much smaller. Make sure we throw that ICC profile, that sRGB. Will help all the colors look the same across multiple platforms. Click OK. Thank you. I appreciate it. I like how you talk. Thank you. Appreciate that. It's how my mama made me. Actually, I don't know. It's where I grew up, right? I guess. All right. We did our JPEGs. We did our. Let's do our PDF command. This time is a little bit different. So instead of going to export now, we're going to go to save as. Okay. We're going to save as, and we're going to change it to a PDF. Okay. We're going to come down here to PDF. And I'm just going to put it all literally in one PDF file. I'm not going to export them as artboards. All this looks good. There's a lot of different things we could do. I'm just going to save it straight out. All right. So there's my PDF, and it adds all these in. See, I've got 8 pages up here. So it brings in each piece basically as a separate page inside of a PDF. All right. And then last but not least, let's do our EPS, which stands for Encapsulated Postscript. And the reason why I include this file type is because some old school printers, not so much now since everybody can subscribe to the Creative Cloud, but an EPS is a file that typically can be opened with other vector software. It doesn't have to be Adobe Illustrator. I got distracted. What am I doing? EPS. There it is. I'm going to use artboards, all save, and it's going to make basically separate Illustrator files, essentially, all these EPS formats. So that's why I do that. All right. And then last but not least, I'm going to save this Illustrator file. Actually, it's an EPS now. So I'm going to hit Command Shift S, or File Save As. And I'm going to go back to Finals, Illustrator. I'm going to call this logo-final. It's the last one I do. I don't put final in titles until I know like this is the one, right? Otherwise you end up with like final, for real, final, version 2, stuff like that. All right, we're going to throw it in there, hit save, hit OK. And then last, I'm going to hit Command A to highlight everything on my canvas. And the only thing that hasn't been outlined is this right here, the base font all of these hex values, and my clear space. So depending on who I send this to, they may or may not have this font. So I highlight everything and then come up here to type, create outlines, which is there. Excuse me. Sorry, this is a very bubbly drink. As I drink more, it's giving me hiccups. Okay, create outlines. So now these are no longer fonts or text. It's just one giant outlined shape. And this time I'll save it, Command-Shift-S to save as. Same thing, but I'm going to call it final logo. We're going to call it outlined. Some people call it O for like outlined. You say outlined or outlined. It doesn't matter. I call it outlined. It doesn't matter. We'll throw it in there. I'll click save. And now I know that even if the fonts are missing, like this document is going to look 100% exactly like this when I send it off. Okay. And that's it. That is how I do my logo stuff. The only other thing I would add to this would be a new folder. I might call it fonts. And then I would put the font in there if it was one that we licensed. Do a poster and wait. Is it okay to do a poster or an A3 poster in Photoshop, like the burger ad poster? Yeah, I think I'm tracking on your question. Your print settings, you have to dial in your print settings to get it just right as far as it printing well without making Photoshop blow up because the file size is too big. It's a whole nother topic. All right, so I've got all these files in here ready to rock. So I would basically, once this is all said and done, and I go back through and make sure, it might be time to be done too, my voice is giving out. What that tells me is I'm not breathing. I need to breathe. All right. So I'd go through, I'd check all the titles. I check all the exports and make sure they all look right and everything looks good. Okay, when it's all done, I'd come over here and I might rename this folder for the client. Then I'll right click, I'll click compress, and that just zips everything up into one nice folder. And because I sync all of my stuff through Dropbox, or I also have a server, a NAS, Synology NAS server, I can share links. So I can right click on this and I can create a Dropbox link and I can email it to my client when it's all said and done. So when I go to email this, here's just a sample. We'll just create a blank. We'll pretend like I'm writing an email right now. And I use, what's it called? I can't think of the name. What's it called? There's an app where I have shortcuts where when I type certain things, dang it. I cannot think of the program to save my life. Shoot. Okay, there's an app I use, and I'm totally drawing a blank because it's like 1 a.m. for me now. And I type in the word logo with 2 L's, LLOGO, and it automatically fills in this copy that I've already written before. Shoot, and I can't remember the name of this app to open it to show you. It's going to drive me nuts. Oh my goodness. I can't think of what it's called. Maybe if I Google search. Text expander. There it is. Text expander. All right. Text expander. All right, but I might. All right, so now it's open. Text expander is open. My snippets. So here, right here. So I created this. So if I click on this and I type in logo, it totally replaces that with all of this text that I've already written. So I say, thank you so much for your business and working with us in this project. Attached is a zipped folder with everything you need to use your new logo. It includes the following files, all the fonts, in case we need to make edits in the future. EPS, which is an editable vector file that most sign and apparel shops prefer. Illustrator, the original editable vector design files. JPEG print, which is a JPEG file in CMYK and high res to use for print. JPEG web, files in RGB and low res for web. PDF, since Adobe Reader is a free download, this is a safe format to guarantee anyone can open your file. And the PNG format, this file supports transparency, whereas JPEGs do not. This way, your logo won't have a white box around it, and this file works great in print as well. This is a flat file though, so it's not editable. So I do all this, and then I say something like, thank you so much for your business or something. I don't know, right? Boom. So feel free to steal that, you guys, if you want. You can use this in your next logo project. I hope that helps. Good morning. What's up, Sean? Glad to welcome you here. I'm about to shut it down. It is good morning. It's like 12:25 a.m. where I live in Montana. So I think that's pretty much everything. This replay was so long, it probably will take it a while to process to be live. You can check it out. The replay will be on YouTube. It'll be on Twitch for a while. It'll be on Behance. I feel like somewhere else too on Facebook, but that's all right. That's pretty much it, guys. So, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. Thank you so much for all the comments and the questions tonight were awesome. I love that. I love being able to answer your questions and help you out. Enjoyed the time, and I hope you guys learned a ton of valuable information. So check out the links below. Be sure, if you haven't already, to like this video. Give it a thumbs up if you can. Share it. Follow it. Whatever you can do. Subscribe. Super appreciate you guys so much. And then also check out those links below for more. I will be live streaming maybe tomorrow. I'm not for sure yet. And then my wife and I are planning to have a baby here. Like Friday is when my new son will be born. So crazy. I can't even believe it. So I'll probably be taking a few days off to catch up on our sleep. So yeah, thank you, Stone, over on YouTube. Appreciate you for sticking around as well. All right, guys, have the best of nights or the best of mornings or the day, wherever you're at. Thanks again, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. All right, guys, thanks for watching today. Hope you learned a lot of valuable information, and I appreciate you sticking around to the very end. But before you go, just a couple things I want to remind you. The first is, if you haven't already, feel free to like this video if you can, depending on where you're watching from. Give it a thumbs up, or subscribe, or tap the bell, or give it a follow if you can. And also maybe even just copy the link up in the browser and share it with a friend, or post it to your Facebook page. I'd really appreciate that. But again, just want to say thanks for sticking around, and I'd love to continue going live as much as possible and helping you guys out. So the best way that I can help you is by you commenting on the videos below. I read those comments. I engage with them as soon as I can, if I can, when I see them. So if it's live, I'll try and answer you right away. If this is a replay, you can still comment on the video, and I go back and I read those. So I just wanted to say thanks again for watching, and let me know what you're working on. I'd love to help you out, and hopefully we will see you in the next live. And to be sure you don't miss it, like this video and subscribe and follow and do the things. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later.